Nintendo Nation.
Hello friends! This is Brave Fencer Mal here with a special review. Today I'll be helping out Nintendo Nation by covering a title created by the Bitmap brothers. Gods Remastered. Let's go! Gods was originally a title that could be found on the Super NES, the Sega Genesis, and other consoles. The story is pretty bare bones as it focuses on a hero that must defeat 4 guardians in order to achieve his wish. Your main objective is to go through different levels while fighting hordes of enemies and solving puzzles. Gods Remastered has a really interesting feature where you can switch between a new version of the game and the retro style with a click of the button. I love this feature a lot, and actually this is something that I wish tons of other titles would have. It allows you to enjoy the game with a completely different experience attached. Well, I would say that, but sadly the classic style has no music. Nothing. It's completely silent with really creepy sound effects. Maybe the developers thought the lack of music would add an extra sense of isolation to your journey. Either way, it made me want to switch back to the remastered style, despite the graphics looking better in the original version. Thankfully, the gameplay can be entertaining. There's a sense of satisfaction with earning wacky power-ups to fight off various creepy monsters and gathering treasure for more points. It feels great to discover the right route to the goal on your own, alongside finding a few secrets. Sometimes you'll even run into this traveling merchant that can offer new abilities. Though, you may die a lot regardless. Cue the montage. I'm very sad to say there's a lot more negatives to find here than the positives stated. The designs for the monsters work well, but they do have an issue. The majority of them don't feel different despite the appearances. Either they're going to run directly at you, or they'll throw a magic spell. There's never a sense of strategy with fighting them off, and oh boy, you'll be fighting these things off. How the enemies are placed in each level feels like they were just put there than with any real thought to the environment you're surrounded by. To add insult to injury, there's no clean way to hit smaller foes like snakes. You have to stand far away from them, and then throw the weapon. There's also the occasional really weird glitches that randomly happen when I'm minding my own business. I'm not a big fan of how long it takes for the game to load up from the title screen either. And most importantly, Gods Remastered has something that I personally can't stand in a side-scrolling game. Falling damage. Stop the review. Stop. Cut. Let's have a quick lesson about falling damage. In a 3D environment, I like falling damage because it complements the playground that you're playing in. For example, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has an excellent use for punishing you for jumping off a cliff. Side-scrolling games can never accomplish falling damage because it comes off like a poor way to keep things more difficult for the player than to add actual realism to the world itself. Masterpieces like Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom don't have to rely on falling damage because the developers are aware they can use other means to make the game challenging, but still enjoyable. Okay, resume the review. Let me be clear, Gods Remastered is not a bad game, and actually far from it. The problem is, there's a lot of things that just add up into one bigger issue. A group of developers worked on this, which means they could have fixed a lot of these problems to make it more mainstream, compared to the current side-scrollers on the market. I get the argument that maybe they wanted to stay true to the original game that a lot of people grew up with, but they could have easily added a classic difficulty mode to satisfy those hungry for the original experience. Because they chose to make this as painfully faithful as possible, I think they really limited their audience by doing so. Those that will like this game are going to be the ones who are just really into retro titles, or have nostalgia over this. With that said, that's my review. Hey, what do you think about Gods Remastered? Let me know in the comment section below. Feel free to like the review if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't, and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, have a wonderful day.
Hey everybody, it's John from Nintendo Nation. I just wanted to give a big thank you to Brave Fencer Mallow for helping us out with this review. You can follow him on Twitter @MallowBrave, and also don't forget to subscribe to his YouTube channel, which I'll leave in the description, and there's a button right there. Thanks for watching, like it if you did, and subscribe.